If you've not heard me talk about vitamin D3, then you must have been living under a rock, because every webinar, every interview, every discussion, I always talk about the benefits of vitamin D3. We know in the UK that we are quite heavily, I was going to say deficient, but there are 3 levels that you test by, and it's sufficient, insufficient, and deficient. And I would say most people are probably bordering somewhere in between insufficient and deficient. The basic one that we all know about is, of course, vitamin D is good for your bones. We know that, we accept that. And there were some cases where some children who weren't getting out enough were actually struggling with rickets, which is something that the UK hasn't suffered from for many years on that level. But more interestingly, vitamin D has a whole host of other benefits. I call it the sunshine vitamin because it really does help us get through the season of SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It's a real mood enhancer. So I think if you are struggling with mental state or mood state, or you're feeling a little bit low, I would suggest go for that first. With other solutions to follow, but go for that first. More interestingly, I've used vitamin D3 for spinal issues with clients. So as a movement specialist, I've always utilised a set of protocols to improve people that have got prolapse or protrusions in their discs, normally the lumbar spine area. And because the site receptors for vitamin D are in the spine, you get huge benefits in spinal health when you combine a large dose of vitamin D with other protocols such as improving core function and use magnesium and bringing down what we call silent inflammation in the body and such forth. And then there's other things that can really benefit from vitamin D3. We know that it can help with IBS issues. It's not that it's a silver bullet, but it can certainly help when you're trying to overcome IBS. And we also know that with the low levels of vitamin D3 in the body, it can be a struggle to shift body fat. So it's not that you use vitamin D3 to lose fat, but in its absence, or if it's insufficient in the body, it's more of a challenge to lose body fat. And I think that's one factor that a lot of weight loss programs omit. And then finally, we know most recently that vitamin D3 has also been implicated positively when it comes to COVID. And I am despairing as to why this hasn't been shared on the announcements that we've all watched from one day to the next from the government and their advisors. And I just wonder what could have happened with the 100,000 deaths. I just wonder what could have happened if we'd all been issued some free vitamin D3 from the government. It's a relatively inexpensive product, and it could have potentially really ramped down the impacts. But you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing.